And good morning. We are live with Wednesday's Q&A with Cherry. And welcome. Good morning, Cherry.
Good morning, Nancy and everybody else. How are you today? Just
Wonderful.
good. Now if we're honest, Nancy will let you know that she didn't get much sleep last night, and my dog woke me up in the middle of the night. So we were just not quite drained, but kind of not way up here,
Mellow. We're
but
mellow.
mellow,
We're mellow.
calm and mellow. And we're holding the energy of staying calm and mellow because when I interact with everybody, I tend to move around a lot. And that kind of, when I get done, I'm going, oh gosh, I shouldn't have done that. So we're being grounded, we're being mellow, we're being present, we're being. There we go.
Ooh.
We put out this nice, serene energy. My crown chakra is going nuts. So apparently there's some energy coming in. And so if you're feeling it too, that's good stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Kelli has popped in to say hi, and we're waiting for other folks to pop in and say hi, but we're going to get started.
Yes, we are.
We've got a lot of questions, and we do want to remind people that we're changing things up, that we're only going to do Q&A every other week. So next week we're going to have Wednesdays live, but we're going to do a conversation about a topic, and it might just be the conversation between you and I and people that come in and make comments in the chat. But we're going to use a topic and see where you and the ancients take us.
Well, and that's really great because started this out as to, supposedly be, a 15, possibly 20-minute show. And it's grown to 45 minutes and at times an hour. And then we would do the after show because the topic would come up and people were loving it. This way, it allows that topic to be present in a way that it is also fits our schedules. Everybody who knows me and knows the work I do, it's all about self-empowerment. And that's what the topics will help too. And then, of course, there's the chat room where you'll be able to interact, that sort of thing. And so one of the things that's really good for you to do if you choose to, and I sure hope you do, is what are you interested in? What do you want to know about? We can send suggestions and we'll look into it and cover this, so yeah, we want you to know, the beauty of who you are, the amazing creator of your own life that you are, and to hold on to that and send your intentions out and let that positive energy move you forward. And so this will help create a balance.
Now, I've got somebody that said their screen was frozen. I don't know if they can hear me because the screen is frozen, but I went to my other computer, which I watched the show also on another computer to make sure things are working, and it was spinning, and so I just refreshed it, reloaded it, and it's working just fine. So I don't know if you can hear me, Barbara, but that's what I did. So, and Kelli said that she loves the new format and is excited to see it unfold.
Yes.
So are we.
Yes, we are too. Yes. It's nothing stays the same. If we hold everything the same all the time, there's no expansion, no growth. We don't want to do that. This is about, personal empowerment, personal growth. Let's move it forward, kids.
That's right. So, we're all growing, all of us.
And sometimes I have growing pains.
Stop it.
Nancy. Well, Nancy knows because I complain.
See, she's not perfect. I just want everyone to understand you're not as perfect as you might seem.
I beg to disagree with you. I am absolutely perfect in my perfectly human way, like everyone else. All
right, let's get started with questions.
Okay, we can do that.
So, Normajean, something very important is missing from my home. Can you tell me where it is? It feels like a game of hide and seek. It was a gift to my husband from my daughter.
I'm not great at finding things. Yet I can see whether somebody's hands are on them or if they've been moved around. And I did look at this question last night, and it was in my mind today. And what I see is a lot of clutter around it. When I say clutter, I'm seeing like paper and boxes. It doesn't feel like it's thrown out, yet it feels like, look to see where you put up extra boxes, or somebody else put Christmas boxes, that sort of thing, where there's still paper around them. It feels like it's just laying there. It doesn't feel like it's been taken. And so it does feel as if you will find it. I don't know why I keep seeing it as something flat. So it just keeps showing that to me. So check gifts that were given. Have everybody who was there check gifts, because it feels like it just got set away. So, yeah, it says dislocated, relocated. So I don't know how you dislocate a present, but it draw it back to you. Just see the idea, let go of the worry, see the item, let go of the worry, and see it in your husband's hands. And okay, here's another one. This one's fun. You know me, I'm all about personal empowerment. And I've got tingles on this one, is ask your angels, the angels that assist in finding lost and hidden things. Call in your angels, ask them to send you or your husband the message as to where it's at. Now, see, your heart chakra is opening up on that one. And so don't think hard on it. Just let it be and let the information flow in. Okay? It does not, my first thought was it's thrown away, but I don't feel as if it's thrown away. I just feel misplaced.
I like dislocated myself.
I know, it's like dislocated. Well, or maybe they meant delocated. It is not in D place. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Gaywynn would like to, let's see what she said. I've begun having physical sensations as I am readying for sleep. I'm relaxing, winding down, and I feel an inner frisson, a tingling that begins in my heart center and radiates through my full body. I'm moving to a point where I can initiate it again and again. Is it a clearing process? Is it amplification? Thanks, with hugs.
All of the above. This is part of the ascension process. And you'll also feel at times as if there's energy running through the centers of your bones. It's clearing up old energetic blockages, patterns, that sort of thing. There's a lot of interesting sensations that go through the body when we are moving and ascending. What I really love is the fact that you focused on it and you come to understand that you may move, it doesn't just randomly happen. You can connect to it and expand it out into the cells and into the particles of you. One of the things I noticed a lot when I moved into my shift of awareness is whenever I thought of something very spiritual, especially when I was relaxing at night, I'd get very hot. And there are people that are walking their spiritual path, usually women say this, it's like, oh yeah, I'm really going through menopause, because that's what we're taught. If our bodies as a female gets hot, extremely so, then we must be having hot flashes. That's not necessarily the case because men and children do not go through menopause. It's when we step into this, the cells vibrate at a higher frequency. And so it actually does a heat release within the body. So just pay attention to how these things happen. But yes, ascending, activating, clearing, and, let the next step come. It's great. It's wonderful. And it is very freeing. So. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Good news, Gaywynn. Okay. Monique, I got my claim accepted by Workers' Comp. Great. But I won't have another doctor appointment until the end of the month. I am looking for your insight as to whether I'll be doing patient care next month or have another opportunity with light duty. Thank you.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're going to be fully released for patient care, for the idea of where you're more hands-on, lifting, turning, the heavy work. It does feel like you'll be given like you said, an opportunity for light work. Hold that image in your mind and see yourself staying there. Once the claim went through for you, it isn't that it doesn't feel like they can put you back into the position that hurt your body until you're released by the doctor. And it does show there's some are you having any type of physical care for this? Have you had any physical therapy where you can strengthen that sort of thing? It would be good to check into that for yourself. And of course, I'm going to talk about the spiritual aspect of this. As a healer, a person that's working in the healing field, pay attention to your energy body. Are you absorbing, so many people are empathetic and they don't realize they're pulling in everybody else's energy, and it can cause problems within their own physical body. So surround with light, see everybody else's energy reflected back to them with love. And so that will help. But yeah, it feels like light duty. And take care, do what's good for your body. Okay?
Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, from Andrea. Hi, Jerry. Wendy is still insisting they need months to transfer the money for the sale. I'm still saying I'm sure they can find another way to get the money they need faster than that. We're just going back and forth at this point, and it doesn't seem like I'm making any progress. Any suggestions? Thanks.
And I read this one this morning too, and it's like, okay, now see what you want, throw it out into the universe, let it go. Just let go of all idea of having to hold on and control and maneuver, because that's holding an energy, not allowing it to actually open up and bring in what you want. And it does feel like the money comes up sooner than what they're saying. And again, it's this particular company's they're using the term playing hardball and getting their way. But as you stand in your heart, see what it is you want, and send it out to the universe, surround it with beautiful pink light, and let it come back to you. Surrender. There are times the best thing to do is let go, let God, and surrender from the holding on, and receive. So.
I just want to make a comment about this one, and what you're saying about letting go of trying to control is because, you can look at it as in all different ways. You can look at it from the spiritual aspect and let go and let God. You can also look at it from a physicist aspect, and that there's infinite possibilities in the world. Mm-hmm. And when we try and control the outcome, we are limiting God. We are limiting the physical realm of the infinite possibilities from having the thing happen in ways that can surprise and delight.
Well, and that's it. And especially if we've been in a situation for quite some time, and Andy has been in this situation, you're not always aware you're working within your own feelings of fear and bumping up against the old walls of experiences beforehand. And so it's paying attention when that feeling comes up of fear and panic, and just go into your heart and just really, I'd say go into your heart, but it just says, just let your energy go into your heart center, into the center, and just be there. Just be there. Don't do anything. Again, human beings, we're told, you gotta do, this'll never get done unless you do, and you've got to manipulate this, you gotta hold this, you gotta do that. Well, then we're actually creating more obstacles, as Nancy was just saying, than would be there otherwise. when we step into that space, and and again, Nancy has pointed out, I'm not perfect. I go into my stuff the same way. And then it takes me a moment to remember just to step back, breathe, let go, and, let it come in the ways that support our lives. If anything, ask, what is the lesson I'm learning from this? Where has this lesson been before in my life? And why is it coming up again? And love yourself all the way through each and every one of those questions. So.
Wonderful. Thank you, Andy, for asking that.
Yes.
All right. And we have a question from Kelli, who is with us and hopefully still with us. I've been doing a lot of thinking about our current incarnation, the lessons and healing we choose to experience to advance our souls. And I'm wondering just how much past life influences have on this. I know some people are really drawn to knowing about theirs, yet I don't feel that strong connection. How do we know when we need to address a past life lesson that is perpetuating itself?
Oh, I love it. You use the word need. You may never need to. Nobody ever needs anything. When is it you choose to? Again, every life is different. And there are those that will be reflecting on past lives due to karmic influences, unfinished business, that sort of thing. There are those that are at a different space in the spiritual movement that do not have any need or want or choice to look at a past life. And this question always takes me to a man I knew, a friend of mine who passed here last year. And when he passed, he was not attached to his past lives at all. But when he passed, he saw all of the lives he'd had beforehand and why he chose this life. And that was where the importance was. Let your spiritual walk be your spiritual walk. It's not going to look like anybody else's. So it's sitting with the question, do I choose? Am I curious? Do I feel it's necessary for me to look at a past life? And some people just do it for fun. It's interesting and it is fun. And I've done past life regression, I've had it done, been the person. And it was interesting. And it was as information was, necessary for me. Yet other than that, I really don't look a whole lot at it because this is the thing about past lives. I'm going to lean back a little. I know I seem to be away from the screen, but I tend to move a lot when I'm doing these and it's, kind of upsetting. So when I look at the past lives and that type of connection, it's more like remembering we have infinite lives. And in these infinite lives, we're not always physical beings. We're not always from planet Earth. And so it's a matter of, what information will it bring in for me? Is it necessary? Have I expanded on past that? I get a lot of the people saying, oh my God, I came back to Earth and I'm doing this lesson. I want to get this over with and I never want to come back here again. And it makes me smile because it's like, oh, you'll do something, whether you come to planet Earth, I don't know. Yet, it's just to connect with that for a little bit and let this be an adventure here. And that's where it feels like Kelli is more into the adventure of this life without the necessity of looking at, oh my gosh, why'd I get here? What am I supposed to do? Yada, yada, yada. It's like, oh, I'm here again. Let's go. And so for you, it isn't necessary.
So let's just go with that for a minute, this past life thing, because many people I know are curious about their past lives due to its impact on their current life, and I'm doing this because in a past life, I was evil, or I was hung at this, I was burned at the stake, or and so now I can't whatever. And so, how much of an influence does a past life have, or how much of an influence do we feel necessary to allow a past life to have?
Well, see, before you threw that other sentence in there, it was, past life has as much influence as you allow it to have. And that's it. And this isn't to negate anybody else's past life, because things do come up and you do have cellular memory. And you may all of a sudden have a fear come up that you never had before, or a disease or something. And it can be due to a past life influence. And there is karma, but it's remembering that we're moving at a whole different rate than we ever have been before. We can look into it and ask if it's from this lifetime or a past life. If it's from a past life, what's the message in it? Meditate on it, and don't do it in fear, like, oh my God, I'm stuck with this forever because I was a bad person in this other life. Again, remember, infinite lives. You might have been a pretty nasty person the last 2 to 3 lives. But what about those lives in which you were these amazing beings that assisted other life in development, in which you had all of the awareness that actually moved up and past the awareness of this world, and you lived only from the purest intentions and vibrations of love? See, many will negate that or not include it in the remembering of. They hold on to the lives of tragedy, the I've been done to and I have done to others, forgetting the infinite being they are and the lives they have chosen to create that are past the reality of this and the limitations of. So it is to honor the past lives as they come up, of course. Ask if there is information in them. Is there a specific reason it is showing itself now? And if so, what is that reason? Let it see what the influence is. And again, we speak to you of karma. Karma, many feel, is you're stuck on this wheel over and over and over again. Like a fly on fly paper, unable to free the self. Yet, this is only one world, one belief system, one reality of infinite ones. You may clear this idea of karma in the blink of an eye. It is by remembering all the loving things that you have ever done and that you continue to do. It is only to raise the vibration, moving past the density of fear. How to raise the vibration? Love. Love without the limitations humankind has put upon it. Breathe, children. Many are holding your breath. Let in the life force, for it is all that you are. Enjoy the remembrances of the lives that you have lived. Also think of parallel lives. See, there's another little monkey wrench thrown right in. Can you not have a life ongoing that is influencing this life also? Or is this life influencing an ongoing life in another reality? Of course. Yet it does not have to limit or cause disparity. Love the life you have. And yes, we have heard so many times, I have been burnt at a stake, so I cannot do. I am persecuted. I am punished. If that is the belief system, that is what you will attract to you. Continuing persecution and punishment. Yet see where it stemmed from the inner parts of you. And remember, you're a being of absolute love. The divine. The life force. The light. I'm always kind of fascinated how a question can be asked and it takes us into so much more. I like that.
And I appreciate you going a little deeper into that question. It's an interesting one, and thank you, Kelli, for bringing that to our attention. And I'm looking at the time.
What time is it?
Well, we're going pretty quickly through our questions, and it's kind of fascinating. And I'm going to cough, so I'm going to mute you. So I just wanted to take a minute and look at the comments that have come in. Let's see, Barbara got her screen unfrozen, and so that's good.
Hey.
Yay. And let's see, Christine is with us. Rami is with us. Monique is here after, of course, we answered her question. So I told her that to please watch the replay. Mm-hmm. And she said, thank you. Sounda is here from Hawaii saying aloha.
Aloha, baby.
And Kelli responded to the question that we just answered. Yes, that is exactly how I feel about it. Definitely resonated with the thought of comparing myself to others. Great reminder that my journey is my own, and I may never feel the same way or be the same way as someone else. I would be one who dwells on something I may not be happy with myself about for sure. LOL. Thank you.
Well, that's one of the things is people do compare out. And one of the things I tell people is if you come upon someone, and there's a purpose to everything. And this is not negating anybody else's work. Yet if I come to somebody and they say, well, you gotta do, you must do, you have to do all of it this way, or I turn around and walk off. And there's a reason for it. We all bring in our own piece of the information, and it is not one journey that is mirroring all journeys. And it's not just one way. You may resonate to some of what I say, and other parts of you put up a wall going, no, that doesn't fit me. Well, good for you, because that's honoring who you are and the essence and the knowledge and wisdom that lives inside of you. And then you're attracted to the next that is, or another step from someone else. And you'll be giving other people information on how to do their journey just by the process you're moving through yourself. So, yeah, if someone says it has to be this way, it must be this way, that's, for me, that's when we step into the ego mind and we're doing it the same way we were taught and told about life. And then it just shows, and it says, then the ceiling comes down like this and there's no expansion. And that's what they said. It showed the ceiling touching the top of my head. And it's like, okay, I'm not comfortable with that. So I'm going to let that expansion come up. Okay, now I got to move my shoulders. Sorry. There we go. So,
we're sending this girl to physical therapy today.
Yes, physical therapy is after the show today. So yay.
Great. And we heard from Gaywynn, blessings and hugs. Barbara, is it possible to talk a little more about being okay. Is it possible to talk a little more about being able to change my karma any moment? A hint toward the strength within to continue to turn to the new. I'm not quite sure I understand.
What it is negating the belief of, well, I've done so many things wrong, I got to keep fixing and doing and that to clear this karma, the bad karma that went out. So I'm getting bad karma back. And have you noticed how people tend to focus when they think of karma? They focus on, yes, that is a bell in the background. It's your
clock.
It's a clock. Anyway, very few people focus on the good energy, the good karma they sent out. And I'm going to bring up something that happened, and Nancy knows what I'm talking about, and it's the cosmic bank that I was reminded of when my bathroom went all upset and this. And it's every good deed that you do, every blessing, every part of the goodness of you send out an energy and you put in that cosmic bank, and it's sitting there. Yet people forget it because they're thinking of, I must have did something really wrong. I got all this bad energy coming at me. I'm clearing my negative karma. And it's like, oh, stop, mind talk, center, open your heart, and then take a withdrawal out of that cosmic bank account that is yours. You know, our world focuses on lack, less than, negatives. You know, and again, when people talk to me about past lives, they're always born in, this sounds terrible. Okay, remove that blanket statement. Many people are born in Egypt, many have been kings and queens, and then many have been witches or warlocks that have been punished. You know, there's a forgetting of, it's just this quaint little farmer living off the land, or, you know, I lived in this nice little village, you know, just your day-to-day life. It's either one extreme or the other. And it's the same way when we're looking at karma. It's like, this extreme of negativity that holds us back. It's energy. We're not. The only control the energy has on us, again, is the control we allow it to have. If you believe in the limitations, then you attract in the limitedness. We are reminding you, you have been so much more than what exists in the reality of this world illusion. In this world stage. If you're looking at karma, why would you not look out at infinite lives that you have had of being the purest, most joyous, most loving, energetic being you have ever been? Feel that energy come in. Now, isn't that an energy to reflect out upon your world and to hold within the self? Feel the body and how it responds to this. Feel the hearts as they open and are. Let go of the need to always claim that which is disparaging. Yes, we have said this word twice in a way. At first we question, but we wanted that particular word for the vibrations and the sound and the emphasis of it. In a blink of an eye, you may move past the negativity. Dearest one, it is only letting go of the belief that karma is negative. Look out and give to the world the positives. Would that not negate according to the beliefs you have? Would it not open the doorway to beauty to be received? I do believe it would. So, okay, let's all ground out just a touch, only because I'm feeling spacey. And I have an idea many of you are out there feeling spacey too. Let's just bring our energy in all the way through our center. Send it down into the heart center of Mother Earth, anchoring in there. And let Mother Earth's energy come up to our center and connect. Do not drive when you're in this energy because nobody will see you. You're vibrating at a different level. That's why it's important to ground. One of the reasons. Also helps you to actually move through this reality too. So, I read a question, Nancy, about a little dog and the chalky stuff. Yes, please give that dog that medicine. It needs to be tested. And that way, this little dog's reflecting an ongoing issue, feels like within the family of the mother side. So really let it be checked out and see what this represents, because it's actually opening a doorway for what we call energetic clearing and healing. So
great little trooper. Yes.
Yes. All of a sudden it came up and it's like, I got to answer that. I got to answer that.
Okay.
So there, it's been answered.
Well, and it's just the stuff that they need to he needs to take so they can see what's going on inside. I can't remember what it's
Yeah,
called at the moment, but yeah,
like barium or something. I don't know if
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
I don't know if it's still called that or if
I
it's
don't
called
either.
that for dogs, but
Yeah, yeah.
I think back when I was a kid, I had to drink some nasty chalky stuff that I think it was called barium, and that they can check your innards.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. And that was Denise's question about Trooper, because that's an ongoing thing that we've been talking about. She also has a question about any career changes or business startup do you see for me in 2019, and will it improve my financial outlook? I hope so. Don't do it if it doesn't, Denise.
Yeah, if it just takes away.
I can do that part right there. Don't do it if it doesn't improve your financial outlook.
I'm not laughing at you, but it is, that's it.
We have done these things ourselves. We are laughing
Yes.
with you. Yes.
Yes, we have. And it is interesting because, the first thing that comes up is, what are you passionate about? What are you willing to put your energy into in the most positive way? You are the creator. You are the attractor of all that comes into your life. And, when I saw this question, I did see you doing one of these, selling something, that
Direct
one of those.
sales, multi-level marketing.
Yeah, that
Whatever.
sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yet it's, what are you passionate about? And really, what would you use and why would you use it? And how does it benefit others? And why would you even want to share it with people? And it's like I told Nancy years ago, I sold Jafra and I sold Mary Kay, and I was great at the party part, getting there. It was the cold calls that I would just be a nervous wreck and I would panic, so I wouldn't do them. And so that wasn't for me. It was when I stepped into my passion, what I'm passionate about. I have no problem sharing that information. That's the key. What are you passionate about? And it isn't going to make a difference what you initiate outward, as long as it's passionate. And it doesn't feel like you go back to school for anything, and it doesn't feel like you're leaving the position you're at right now. This is a supplemental, but it's let it be fun. Look at the different things and what is it that you add to it. And I automatically, I feel people go slump and go, oh no, everybody's doing that. And it's a pyramid scheme and all this. I happen to have a client that is, in one of these things, like this, and she's a millionaires. So her belief system was, I love this. I love sharing it with people. I use it. I'm passionate about it. And it has supported my financial foundation. So if you're holding the other, thought and belief, nothing's going to come in. And so let that go and look at those who have created successfully by doing what they're passionate about. 2019 is our energy's moving forward. It is taking us into those places that support us, where we've been doing the inner work for so many years. And at 2018, we've stepped past the inner work. Not that we won't continue to do some, because we're always in reflection. Yet now we're carrying what we came to and understood out into this new world. So create with delight, darling. Let it be fun. Just see it coming to you easily and you sharing it. But keep your energy high, positive. Catch yourself when you start to utter limiting, self-defeating and negative words and beliefs, because that'll keep you stationary. Okay, this is really interesting. It said, I'm supposed to tell you to see the bright side. When it first came in, I thought the bright side, and then they showed the show about the football player, the bright side. He didn't come from great spaces, yet opportunity was there and he took it and he gave it his all because he loved. And it was reflected and given back to him. So go watch that movie. I've got tingles.
I had a comment, but I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell people that you and I talked about this question before we started, and we talked about, you'd done Jaffa, you'd done Mary Kay, and you just couldn't talk about it with people, on, anybody on the street or whatever, and that now that you're doing your passion, you talk about it with anybody, and what you do now is much weirder than face stuff or any, health products. I mean, the fact that you love talking about this and couldn't talk about that, is really reflecting. Go with what you love, because you won't be able to shut up about it.
And that's it. And know that you've chosen to do it. Support yourself, love yourself, and that this is, what's taking you forward. Again, I don't know, new year, new things, and many people do this. The vision board comes up again. Create a vision board of selling things and what it, gets you. But I do want you to remember, because, you hear me? Is people look out and think to have a better life, and they go, I have this abundance, and they're thinking money. That's going to do it. Yes, I have nothing against money. I do believe it's great to have all that's there to support you in a beautiful lifestyle. Yet, unless you fill from the inside out instead of the outside in, because you always stay empty when you're trying to, it's like that bucket with the hole in it, trying to get that money, that object, that thing that's going to make you feel better, never going to happen. Yet when you fill from the inside and let that go out, then you attract in what supports you in this life, and you attract it in amazing ways, fun ways, and exponentially. So there we go.
We did have a clarification from Nancy. Sounds like maybe it's Sandra Bullock's movie, The Blind Side. But we want to call it The Bright Side. So,
yes.
We're renaming the movie. But that's the one she's talking about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kat Ann said she loves the movie.
Yes.
She loves the name The Bright Side, too. Wendy's here, loves you, Cherry. And Gaywynn said, thanks for the reminder to always choose the highest vibration. Yes. That's how we attract in.
Yes. And, many of us have been swirling in this lower vibration since the beginning of the year. If it isn't, it isn't just to make us feel bad. It's to show us what doesn't support us anymore, so that instead of holding on to it like this, we go, oh, and just allow it to go. I want to take this moment, because we've got some things going on in our country and around the world that has a lot of people in a lot of worry and a lot of fear and a lot of limited beliefs and limited receiving of goodness. Okay, we're going to straighten up here just a moment. We're going to take a big breath, not only into our heart chakra, but also into our high heart. And I want to just see beautiful, glowing light in the center of both of those. And hold that light. Allow the love to expand within you. Allow that love to attract in all that is perfect for you, and let yourself accept it. Let the energy of the high heart and of the heart fill every cell and every particle of you. Understanding love is not limited in any way. Let it be felt all the way through you. And now, dearest ones, allow that love to move from your heart center, from the high heart, holding it inside of the self, filling the auric field, and out into your world. Send it around the globe and let it touch every life in the most positive way, allowing each and every one of those who will accept it into their life do so now. Let the grid of love vibrate through you, out from you to all life, and let it come back to you. Don't we all feel so much better now? If we want a new world, we are the ones to choose to create it and send the energy out in a different way. And yes, that beautiful expansive love you just sent through yourself and held within and then sent out has touched lives you'll never see in the most beautiful of ways. Let it come back to you in ways that delight you. Be the children of the universe, the magnificent creators that you are. Receive in delight, darling ones. Receive in joy. Receive in love. So magnificent you are. I got tingles. Yeah, I'm just tingling everywhere.
You know, I'm not sure whether I should ask the last question or not. From Kathy.
Let's go for it.
Okay, because you kind of have answered it, but let's ask the question, and you can then continue on this conversation we've just been having. I have been hearing from several sources on the internet that we should all be preparing for some chaotic event that will be happening soon, like in the next few weeks, and that we should have at least 2 weeks worth of supplies ready for this event. Food, water, heating, blah, 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 and other disaster supplies. Do you see this being likely? Thank you and much love.
Chocolate. You have to have the chocolate.
Chocolate. Do you know there was a truck of chocolate somewhere that turned over, and there was these flowing rivers of chocolate?
And I wasn't there with a spoon?
I know.
Oh, my Lord.
I told my husband when he sent me the link that we should move there, but just saying.
Hershey. Hershey somewhere. I can't remember. I don't know that's where.
Hershey's in Pennsylvania.
Anyway, this particular theory has been going around for eons. And yes, we can add to it. We can add this worry and fear to it and actually create that reality. Yet if you notice, every time one of these comes up, it seems to me that it doesn't necessarily happen, because all of a sudden we look at it and say, we don't choose to experience that. And we open up to the higher infinite knowing beings we are. I mean, think of, and I say this because I was shown this, 6 years ago, I was shown some writings that a man made a prediction, and they'd been there, and some of them had started coming true. And part of it was California falling off into the ocean. Hasn't happened yet. And the instant hit I got was, yes, that's one potential. Yet we chose to negate experiencing that potential. To create a new, it's not even a new reality. We've experienced this in the physical world here on Earth, where everything is in harmony, in balance. It's look out and see each and every person as an aspect of the divine. See yourself as that. Look out and see waters pure and clear, that the oceans are clean and beautiful and life-supporting, that the air is breathable and supports, there again, all life, that we walk in harmony with every aspect of life in this world. If we add our energy to the negative, we assist in holding that reality here. And I understand ouch, somebody's power chakra really is getting hurt. And I understand that it seems as if you've been doing that and nothing's happening. We are walking in the human experience. It doesn't unfold in our time. It unfolds in the divine, perfect time. And it's to believe in it, to trust, and keep sending your love into it and see the world, as an aspect of beauty. As a kid, I was told I wore rose-colored glasses because no matter what I saw, and I saw a lot of ugliness, I always saw the beauty also and saw a more positive way. I'd go deep into my stuff at times, but somehow I always came to the surface again. Let yourself remember, go through what's necessary for you, what you feel is necessary, but open the door to this beautiful, creative force you are, absolute love, and come back to the surface and send your love out. It's like it is. We are all perfect in our most perfect human way. Yet the essence of all that we are lives inside of us and signals to us and sends us these beautiful messages. Just allow yourself to hear those. Okie dokie.
All right. And so I want to thank you, Kathy, for that question, and that you started answering it even before we asked the question on the show. And I want to remind everyone that next week we're going to do the show differently, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. It may be short, it may be long, who knows, but it's going to be fun.
It's going to be an adventure, and anything we choose to make it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the purpose of this, is to remind everybody, no matter what you're doing, it comes out whatever you choose to make it. Yes, I can feel some backlash coming, and it's okay. Sometimes we will feel like we're walking very heavy steps that we can't move out from under. Yet there's a purpose to it. The moment I shifted, my world didn't become light and free, carefree and joyous, but this inner knowledge, this absolute knowing that everything that happened had purpose, no matter how tragic or traumatic or how magnificent and beautiful, it all serves the whole. So sometimes we're going to go through uncomfortable things. We'll ask questions like, why am I not moving through this? Well, there's more experiencing to be done. It's just doing it in the way that's the most comfortable and best for you. And just give yourself a break. You're in the human experience. I remember that now and then as go through different things that I'm going, well, I spelt this stuff. Why am I going through this? Well, I'm in the human experience with everybody else.
You don't get to be perfect, huh? Dang.
Darn it.
All right. Well, Monique said that it's going to be great. The show's going to be great. So, Monique, you and your dark chocolate need to join us. Yes, and she said dark chocolate is what you need to have. And I totally agree. And I just wanted to remind everyone before we go that if you have more personal questions that you would like to meet with Cherry about, you can go to cherrydivine.com/services and sign up on her calendar for a personal one-on-one session, or book a group of sessions where it's a less expensive. So I wanted to get our little message in that she's here for you individually as well as on these group meetings.
Well, and that's it. In an individual, when I'm doing this, I can only go the surface. I can't go deep inside and what's absolutely yours. This is not the format for that. So it is beneficial to have, a more in-depth session. And the 3-pack Nancy's talking about that saves money, many of the people who want personal mentorship use that one, which is really good. I love that. It allows more one-on-one and where you are at in this particular journey. So Yeah.
And I also want to remind folks to this is a new year and we're coming up with new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep tuned.
That's it.
And for now, we now have gone a long, long time. Saying, I thought, we haven't used any time, so now we really got a long time. So thank you, everyone, for sticking with us, for joining us today. Join us next week to see what in the heck we come up with on our topic, and see what Cherry and the Ancients have to say about the topic. And please join us in the chat, and we will be much more interactive in the chat for next week's show, because we want your input to the conversation.
Exactly. So have a glorious week. And I love each and every one of you.
Oh, and there's my phone telling us it's time to go. All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.